What if I told you there's a cocktail that makes the pumpkin spice seem basic? That's right, save your pumpkins, because today I'm gonna be mixing up our Secret Spice Martini, and once you try it, you're gonna completely forget what pumpkin spice even is. It's smooth, elegant. I think you guys are gonna like this one. So come on down, grab a seat at the bar, get comfortable, and let's create magic, one pour, one stir, and one sip at a time. Welcome back to another episode of the Elixir Lounge. I'm Zach, and we're at Galindo's Coffee and Elixirs here in the Woodlands. And today I'm gonna be showing you guys our Secret Spice Martini that is sure to replace any pumpkin spice that you guys are using on any of your cocktails. It's really that good. Pumpkin spice is very popular, and so one of the challenges that we've had owning a bar and coffee shop is creating something that we actually like for pumpkin spice season. And being that I don't really like pumpkin spice, and neither does Sophie, we had to come up with something new. And now this here is a Sophie exclusive. So Mrs. G came up with this cocktail idea. She created the flavors, all of that. This is really like her brainchild here. What we're gonna be using instead of a pumpkin is gonna be an acorn squash. Now an acorn squash is gonna have kind of a buttery feel to it, a little bit more sweetness, and a slight nuttiness to it that really goes well with some of the other flavors and the spices that we're gonna be adding to this. Now what we did is we created what we call a secret spice jam. That's essentially a roasted acorn squash. We mixed in a lot of different spices, allspice, star anise, cinnamon, nutmeg, just a wide variety of different ones, and came up with this really nice complex syrup. And then we turned it into a martini. And it's super, super good. Now the base of this martini is gonna be gin, but it's not gonna be a traditional gin. It's gonna be old time gin. So it's not gonna be the clear one. It's gonna have some color to it because some of them are aged in rum barrels, and so they pick up some of that color as opposed to in a pot still like most gins that end up being clear. We're also gonna be using agave as our sweetener. Now agave, I like to describe it as being a mix between simple syrup and honey. It has just enough flavor, but it's not overpowering like sometimes raw honey can be. And it's not really bland like simple syrup that is just sweet water. It's got a little bit more character and a little bit more flavor to it. And then we're gonna be using our Aquafaba that we've used in some of our other cocktails. And Aquafaba is gonna be essentially chickpea juice. You won't be able to taste it in the drink at all. What it's gonna do is it's gonna create a really nice frothy type of mouthfeel and a nice layer on the very top, almost like the head of a beer. All right, so to start this drink, we're gonna start with our gin, and we're gonna be using Ransom Old Time Gin. And as you can see, this doesn't look like a gin. It looks almost like a bourbon or a whiskey. Look at the color on it. And so we use this one specifically because it has more of a sweeter undertone to it than a traditional gin. Now it's still gonna have the botanicals and the floral type of notes to it as well, but it's just gonna be dialed in just a little bit sweeter. So this is gonna be 2 ounces of gin. We're gonna be using agave as our sweetener, and we're gonna use 1/2 ounce of agave. Make sure you get it all in there because the agave tends to be kind of thick. We're gonna do 1/2 ounce of Aquafaba. Then we're gonna do 2 bar spoons of our Secret Spice Jam. Gonna make sure it goes in there real nice. And the consistency on this is really like a jam, so it's not gonna be overly thick. So as we shake it, it's gonna break it up, and there will be some pieces that are still left in there, but we're gonna double strain it to make sure that it doesn't affect the actual mouthfeel of it. And then we're gonna do 1 ounce of our yuzu that we like using on most of our sour cocktails. All right, we're gonna add ice and shake it. Now I shake this a little bit more than I do some of the other ones because we have that jam in there. And now since we used Aquafaba, we do what's called a reverse dry shake. So we shook it with ice in here. We're gonna completely strain it to get rid of the ice. And then we're gonna shake it one more time, and that's what's gonna give it a really nice, frothy type of texture to it. All right, and then we're gonna put this in a Nick and Nora glass. All right, we're gonna make sure we double strain it because there's still some little pieces of the jam that are in there. All righty, and now to garnish it, we're gonna add just a little bit more spice as if this didn't have enough spice on it. And we're gonna do just a little bit of cardamom just right over the top, just to give it a nice little aromatic. This is the Secret Spice Martini. That's gonna replace all of the pumpkin spice in any of the cocktails that you have. And now to taste it. Very silky. It's got a nice spice flavor profile to it. Definitely a fall type of drink. It kind of really reminds you of that. Some of the notes of the cardamom. You definitely taste some of the star anise, some of the allspice in there. But I think it's just really well balanced to where you get a cocktail with all of these flavors, but none of them are really overpowering. It's just a very, very smooth, very easy to drink cocktail. Refreshing as well in a way, but definitely reminds you a little bit more of fall. I think you guys will like this one. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Thanks to you guys for watching us. If you've been following us, you know we drop weekly content, so stay tuned for next week's episode as we continue to bring creative, bold, really interesting cocktails. If you guys aren't following us, make sure to do so that way you stay up to date with any news and events or any new episodes that we're releasing. And if you guys are trying some of this stuff out, one of the things that we really enjoy about this channel is really hearing from you guys. Hearing of all the things that you guys are experimenting with, the recipes that you guys are following that we put out there, and really just your feedback on things. We really enjoy hearing it, and I promise you, we read all of the comments. And so until next time, thanks again for watching the Elixir Lounge.